There are places where reality feels thin, not because of fog or old wood or creaky floors, but because something happened there that never fully stopped happening. Tonight's documented account takes us to a white frame house in Villisca, Iowa, where 8 people were killed in one night, and where the silence afterward still does not behave like silence. Welcome to True Haunt Lore. Before we step inside, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can join the archive. These cases get darker the deeper we go, and you do not want to arrive late. Now rewind with me to June 9th, 1912. Villisca, small, church-centered, the kind of town where people recognize your footsteps on the sidewalk. That Sunday night, the Presbyterian Church holds a Children's Day service. Hymns, smiles, a room full of neighbors who think the world makes sense. Josiah Moore is there with his wife, Sarah, and their 4 kids, Herman, Catherine, Boyd, and Paul. 2 girls from out in the country, Lena and Ina Stillinger, ask to stay the night so they do not have to travel home after dark. It sounds harmless. It sounds normal. Around 9:30, the group walks home under heavy summer clouds. Street lamps stretch long shadows across gravel. The Moore house on East 2nd Street looks warm and safe, white siding, simple porch, the kind of home that says, nothing bad happens here. The doors are locked, the house goes quiet, and sometime after midnight, someone moves in the dark. Historical reconstructions says the weapon came from the property, an axe, taken from the coal shed. Upstairs first, the parents' room. No struggle heard by neighbors. No screams that made it into the night air. Just a violence so quick the town slept through it. Then the children's room. Investigators later noted something small, almost technical oil lamp turned down low, the chimney removed. Not enough light to fill the room, just enough for someone to see what they were doing. After that, the killer goes back down the narrow stairs. Lena and Ina are in the first floor guest room near the kitchen. Evidence suggests one of them may have stirred, just long enough to understand something was wrong. And then there is nothing else to do. No place to run in a house you trusted. But what makes Villisca feel cursed is not only the murders, it is what happened after. The killer stayed. Faces were covered with cloth, like someone could not stand to be watched, even by the dead. Mirrors were draped too. Every reflective surface treated like a threat. And in the guest room, investigators found odd stage details. A slab of bacon set on the floor, a bowl of water used to wash up, a keychain left behind. The axe was left inside, leaned like a tool put away after work. Near dawn, the figure was gone, and the house became a sealed container of dread. Morning comes on June 10th. A neighbor notices the Moores are not moving. No chores, no voices, curtains wrong. Josiah's brother, Ross, arrives with a key. He steps into the kitchen, opens the guest room door, and the scream that follows changes Villisca forever. Then the worst thing for an investigation happens. People pour in. Hundreds of townspeople walk through the house. They touch. They stare. They trample what the killer left behind. By the time order is restored, the crime scene has been handled by an entire town. Suspects follow, and each one feels like a different nightmare. Frank Jones, a powerful local rival, becomes a name people whisper over dinner tables. Then there is Lynn George Jacqueline Kelly, a traveling minister present at the church service, leaving town early, later confessing, then recanting. Tried, hung jury, then acquitted. Another theory points to William Mansfield, linked to other axe murders along rail lines. Similar patterns, similar staging, similar lamp detail. But nothing ever locks in tight enough to hold. No one is convicted. And that is where the legal record ends. But the house keeps talking. Years later, families who live there report weight in the air. Footsteps upstairs when nobody is home. The sense of being watched from doorways that look empty. In the 1990s, the home is restored to its 1912 condition and opened to visitors. And from that point on, the reported activity becomes repetitive, consistent, logged by thousands, including skeptics who walk in laughing and walk out quiet. People describe the smell first: old wood, damp coal, and a sharp metallic note that makes the back of your throat tighten. Some report headaches that hit like a switch, then vanish the moment they step outside. Sound is the next thing. Not settling, not wind, children, light footsteps, marbles rolling across floorboards, recordings capturing a childlike voice saying, "He is going to hurt us." Another voice, low and close, whispering, "Get out." Upstairs, in the closet near where the Moore children slept, investigators have described a moment that keeps repeating across accounts questions asked in the dark, and a flashlight switched off and tightened, flickering to life like it understands language. One blink, two blinks, then the room turns cold fast, and the light is knocked over by something nobody can see. The stairs are worse. People say they feel pushed as they climb, ankles brushed, a sense that the house wants you to hurry, like it remembers someone coming down those steps, unhurried, with all the time in the world. And the guest room where Lena and Ina were found carries the heaviest reports. Visitors describe sudden panic, a feeling of being cornered. Some claim scratches that appear under clothing, 3 red lines that burn for hours. Skeptics argue infrasound, suggestion, a mind primed by history. But there is a question that will not go away. Why do so many people who do not know each other describe the same details in the same rooms, in the same sequence? One investigator who stayed alone reported waking around 3 in the morning to a steady sound thud, 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 thud like wood being chopped somewhere inside the house. The next room was empty, but when he reviewed his audio beneath his own breathing, a faint whisper threaded through the silence, a single name: Paul. So here is the last page for tonight. Maybe the Villisca house is a recording history burned into wood and plaster, playing back on a loop. Or maybe something intelligent stayed behind, something that can answer, touch, warn, and push. Either way, the house does not feel like a museum. It feels like a memory that refuses to die. If you ever find yourself in Iowa and you stand on East 2nd Street as the sun goes down, listen carefully. The wind, past the insects, past the far-off train line. Because in that thin patch of reality, the night of June 9th, 1912 might still be happening. Like the video, subscribe, and share your own documented encounters in the comments, especially if a place followed you home. This is True Haunt Lore, closing the book for now.
So after delving into the sheer brutality we just explored, the locked doors, the unsolved mystery, and the tragic fate of the Moore family and the Stillinger girls, you're probably wondering, what exactly is the vibe at the Villisca Axe Murder House today? Well, my personal take on this infamous Iowa crime scene right now is all about its breathtaking, deceptive charm. If you drive down the quiet, tree-lined streets of Villisca today, expecting to find a dark, rotting, Hollywood-style murder house, you will be completely caught off guard. During the daylight hours, this classic 1912 American farmhouse actually possesses a remarkably serene and peaceful aesthetic. Sitting on a quiet suburban street, with its pristine white siding and simple, historic wooden architecture, it feels incredibly cozy. Bathed in the warm, Midwestern sun, the property genuinely looks like a bright, picturesque Thomas Kincaid-style painting of early 20th century rural life. Today, it operates as a perfectly preserved living museum, right in the heart of a friendly neighborhood. But honestly, from my perspective, that picture-perfect, innocent exterior is exactly what makes the reality of the Villisca house so deeply unsettling. The contrast is just jarring. Because while it looks like a serene family home by day, the owners have intentionally kept it stripped of modern electricity and running water to preserve the exact environment of that fatal night. The moment the sun goes down, that cozy illusion completely shatters. You are left sitting in the pitch dark, where brave ghost hunters who book overnight stays constantly report the sounds of children whispering and heavy footsteps in the attic. The victims never got to leave, and that suffocating dread rushes right back in the moment the oil lamps burn out. Villisca proves that the most terrifying locations often look like the most welcoming homes. Thanks for joining me on this case here on Rhyme's Journey, and I'll catch you in the next mystery.